By virtue of the powers vested in me in terms of the applicable college statutes, I hereby constitute this convocation of the Potchefstroom College of Agriculture.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning to all our accomplices who have joined us on this great day where we are celebrating the achievements of our farmers of tomorrow. It is quite obvious that the agricultural sector is one of the backbones of any local or national economy. It provides jobs and livelihood for the people, and it has a great influence in facilitating the means of earning sustainable growth. It helps in enhancing the rapid growth of any nation that has adopted good agricultural measures for making general infrastructure and providing for the well-being of the populace. Thus, it is the right to claim that the growth of the national and international economy hinges on the prosperity of the sector. With this and much more said, Islam offers the agricultural sector a special consideration and impatiently enjoins creation to benefit as much as they can from the bounties of the Almighty, which is widely bestowed on the earth. This clearly appears in numerous verses of the Holy Quran, wherein the Almighty states, "It is He who has spread out the earth for His creatures. Therein is fruit and date palms, with spectres and harsh corn and scented herbs." Another verse says, "Which of the bounties of your Lord will you deny?" Another verse says, "Then let man look at his food, how we have bear forth water in abundance. Then we split the earth into fragments and produce therein corns and grapes and nutritious plants." As we know, my dear accomplices, that every prophet primarily was told to invite towards the Almighty, but the greatest point which gave every prophet the quality of humility was that every prophet was a shepherd, meaning every prophet grazed animals and they plowed the lands. Great people, the likes of guides, were sent by the Almighty, did farming, show us and indicate to us that when an important factor this has on the development of mankind. We cannot overemphasize, as our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, has said, there is none amongst the Muslims who plants trees or sows seeds, and then a bird or person or an animal eats from it. It is regarded as a charitable gift for him. We know that the sector is the backbone of our country. If the sector fails, then eventually the economy of any country collapses. In conclusion, I would like to highlight one of the greatest threats to our food security in this country is farm murders. Every day, as we look at stats, South Africa is facing an ongoing scourge of farmers being killed brutally. Is really destroying the sector of agriculture. I must also mention that agriculture is the lifeblood of any nation. It is said, if you destroy agriculture, you destroy a nation. In whatever we do, we must always continue to act as responsible citizens, and we should see how we can contribute to uplifting our farmers. We pray to the Almighty that He grants us and our people the realization of this great sector which needs to be enhanced and uplifted rather than uprooted and destroyed. Thank you.
On behalf of the Potchefstroom College of Agriculture, as the Director of the Northwest Provincial Agricultural Colleges, Dr. Karabo Mabe, I welcome you to the first virtual graduation ceremony for the class of 2020, the ceremony which is being held in 2021. In acknowledging the presence of the Honorable MEC, Medes Bomohono, the Acting HOD, Ndate Dipepenenen Serache, the Chairperson of the Advisory Council, Mr. Johan Dutoit, the Vice Principal of the College, May Oneile Sibitlani, academics and support staff. We welcome you graduates to this virtual graduation. We're hoping that this graduation ceremony will bear fruits to ensure that in the 3 years of study that you have been in the Potchefstroom College of Agriculture have assisted you to acquire the relevant skills and knowledge to go and contribute immensely in this new normal of COVID-19 to ensure that food security challenges and the challenges of climate change are advanced. On that note, I welcome all the guests, the parents, our sponsors, our role players. We wish to thank you and to continue with us in this journey. Thank you very much. I welcome you.
The Premier of the Bupirima Province, Honorable Professor Job Mukoro, in absentia. The Honorable MEC, Ms. Desbo Muhono. The Acting Department, Mr. D. Serache. The Executive Mayor of JB Max, Departmental Management Committee members, Chief Director, Agricultural Support Services, Mr. Tebe Mutusi, the Director of Northwest Province Agricultural Colleges staff, Dr. Garabo Mabe, Chairperson of the Advisory Council, Mr. Johan Dutoit, and members of the Advisory Council, Potchefstroom College of Agriculture, both academics and support staff, parents, graduates, distinguished guests, all protocol observed. On behalf of the college staff, please allow me to present the 2020 Principal's Report for Potchefstroom College of Agriculture. Honorable Premier in absentia, Honorable MEC, the acting HOD, it has been a tough year for the world at large, and with no exception for Potchefstroom College of Agriculture. The class of 2020 was faced with challenges as posed by the outbreak of COVID-19, and like any other registered students in an institution, however, at the same time, these challenges posed an opportunity for more enrollments, and for the health sector, it was for more research in the public health sector and papers published. The current health situation has shown us that we cannot work in silos, but we need to hold hands and stand as one. The college graduation celebrates the achievement of students who have successfully achieved the academic requirements for a 3-year diploma in agriculture in mixed farming. The class of 2020 will not only solve farming problems, but they will know how to create a new and more evolved normal lifestyle as of COVID-19. A world more just, a world more kind, a world more beautiful, and a world more healthier. We need you to do this as graduates because the pandemic has illuminated the vast systematic inequities that have defined life for too many for too long. Because for poor communities out there, without adequate access to healthcare, inequality is sadly a pre-existing condition. At the same time, as we honor the 2020 graduates, in its first of its kind at the college, in also adhering to the COVID-19 protocols and regulations, this visual graduation ceremony embraces the fourth industrial revolution in a true sense and meaning. We further acknowledge the resilience and contribution of our farm owners and all academic staff who worked very hard and risked their lives during lockdown limitations, levels 5 to 1 in 2020 and levels 3 in 2021, to adapt and use different online platforms to assess final year students and ensure that we gather here yet again to honor another group of graduates. A special group it is indeed. Honorable Premier and MEC, we are happy to be graced by our Advisory Council Chairperson, Mr. Johan Dutoit, and the SRC representative of 2020. In our midst is their President, Mr. Nglesi, and their outstanding contribution in support in ensuring continuation of teaching and learning. They indeed fought the battle with us. We acknowledge the support of our department to colleges in increasing our voted fund from 25 million in 2011. However, it was dropped to 22.46 million in 2020 due to COVID-19 challenges. We had to rechannel and invest in ICT material. Ndate Serache, our acting head of department, the COVID-19 surge has helped the college invest funds into procuring ICT gadgets for students as prioritized by government and the Minister of Higher Education used to do remote learning. Many this year will not see graduates their graduation day and will never return to school ever again due to the pandemic. Consider yourself blessed. However, the class of 2020 won't be defined by what we lost to this virus, but by how we responded to it, because we never reacted. We did indeed respond, academic staff. Dear graduates, the world is yours now, and we can't wait to see what you make of it. During lockdown level 5, agriculture as a sector was not shut down because we are an essential service, and we needed to feed the world while others worked from home. Bagolo ba rona, let us embrace the department and the college for having had many appointments in 2020. A lecturer in beef production, a lecturer in soil science, an agricultural technician in agronomy, and a monogastric technician were appointed to ensure that we upkeep the health and the safety of the college. The college had a total of 263 students, Honorable MEC, including the final year students, who in total were 77, but out of that 77, only a few managed to succeed. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's graduation ceremony, as special as it is visually, will witness the college conferring diplomas in agriculture and mixed farming. 21 of those are female and 24 are male. We acknowledge as an institution of higher learning the public partnership for student financial support from the following: AgriCita for funding students for 1.5 million, and DARD, which is the Department of Agriculture, Land Reform and Rural Development, for funding 25 students at 670,000. Dr. KK Municipality also for funding 3 students at 29,000. Pele Private sponsored only 1 student for 4,000. Potato SA for sponsoring 3 students for 45,000. Poly Oak Foundation sponsored 1 also for 10,000. Ladies and gentlemen, we must be proud as a province of Bokoni Bophirima that the Premier's office also funded 1 student for 26,100 rands, and our MEC colleagues also is supporting students within the department. We have a total of 7 students currently in 2020 who are funded by the MEC. Honorable guests and parents, please join me in appreciating all the efforts made by all staff, academics, especially those that were responsible for our final year students, and graduates, to ensure that we hold now a different visual, remote graduation ceremony. With that, I thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm honored to request the chairperson of the College Council, Mr. Johan Dutoy, to declare that candidates whose names appears in the program have complied with the requirements of the Act and the college statutes, and therefore qualify for a diploma in agriculture.
By virtue of the powers vested in me, I declare that all the candidates whose names appear in the program have complied with the requirements of the Act and College Statute and qualify for the Diploma in Agriculture.
Number 1, Babua Mamulevi. Is it fine? Devarox John Brett. Duna Catherine Sisipo. Khagiano Shak Bega. Gumede Khotato Michael. Kekana Masikiba Kiba Flosli. Khotule Obakeng. Lepalo Chireletu. Mabuela Tsepedi Matthews. Madoda Kamogelo. Maele Tato. Malanda Kulekani. Malukutu Relebogile Precious. Mampe Andronica Mosengpila. Marumo Kabelo Kenneth. Matlala Holo Kamogelo. Maubani Chweni Brendan. Mbosekasi Olebogeng Spielman. Mda Unati. Mkombeni Prince. Mwalusi Judek Dikeledi. Mukwene Chirelecho Horatius. Molepo Ntswaki Emily. Mongalani Buitumelo Josego. Mokel Daniel Paul. Mugagadeli Tagalani. Muhloyo Chovi. 28 Ndlovu Stembiso Mylon. Nemaurani Vo Nani. Nkosi Ntlebani Sihle. Pandafutsi Elalwani. Pitse Ntabiseng Princess. Randall Henry St. John. Sibulai Khotso. Sehlapelo Kwetepe Saltiel. Sihume Tebogo Boitumelo. Sikori Kamogelo Donald. Sipirwa Marupeng Alfred. Sithole Draper Esselen. Songa Ngangabo Konwaba. Stephen Kiamukhetsu. Tau Offense Gert Bruno. Tabe Kiamukhetsi Adolfina Morongwa. Chalimbi Selwani Shelley. Fermak Gerardus Jacobus.
The Honorable Medes Bomohono, the HOD Resrache, the Chief Directors and Directors present, the Advisory Board, the Mayor and all dignitaries present, good morning. I also want to greet and congratulate our graduates and say, job well done. Under the terrible circumstances of COVID-19, you really stuck it out. Congratulations. I would also like to congratulate your parents and families who stood by you and encourage you not to give up, not forgetting the lecturers, the admin staff and the management who worked tirelessly to make sure that your material helped and so that you can pull through. Well done, the staff of Potch. You have embarked on a very important sector because agriculture forms a significant portion of the economies of all African countries. As a sector, it therefore contributes towards major continental priorities such as eradicating poverty, hunger, intra-Africa trade and investment, rapid industrializing and economic diversification. Agriculture has a massive social and impact footprint. More than 60% of the population of sub-Saharan Africa are smallholder farmers. Agriculture is by far the single most important economic activity in Africa. It provides employment for about 2/3 of the continent's working population, and each country contributes an average of 30 to 60% gross economic product and 30% export. There are major obstacles that limit the success of the small-scale farmers which most Africans embark on, and these are climate, technology and education, financing and infrastructure. Smallholder farmers in Africa are still amongst the poorest, and most of the graduates are going to swell the ranks of the smallholder farmers. And it will be important to research and gather knowledge on how the African people were circumventing this kind of problems. Smallholder farmers are failing because African people are not following the footsteps of their forebears. They have adopted the Western ways of doing things instead of building from the known to the unknown. They should consult with their elders to learn how it was done. More than 50 years ago, Chinese president sent all graduates to rural areas to go and learn about Chinese culture and traditions from the knowledge holders. The economists learned about economy, agriculturists learned about agriculture, scientists learned about science, and today China is the largest economy in the whole world because all the educated people are innovating from their traditional knowledge and they have emerged unique and powerful. Recredo Mota says, and I quote, "There is an old saying that goes, the wise eagle that wants to see tomorrow's biggest day must be brave enough to shake the great reptile of the past awake." What he is saying is that if people wish to create big future, they must look closely and clearly at the past. Motswana ar, gata mo thako ya pele gatileng teng. Ebile a re le thako le leswa la gelwa mo le legologolo. Our indigenous knowledge is alive, it is powerful, it is the dark consciousness which cries out for attention. Our knowledge is immortal, it draws attention, and it is only through our fight for cognitive justice that we'll explore the difference and the right to plurality of knowledges and coexistence among knowledge systems. Today we are faced with a pandemic, and traditional medicine should be taking the center stage in coming up with a cure for COVID-19. Madagascar came up with an indigenous herb, and we all use this herb as African people. Today, Aramesia amphra, lingana, combined with other herbs, and is highly recommended for alleviation of COVID-19. Tojani Farm supplies and helps a lot of people with this herb and other herbs to alleviate COVID-19. The problem is the West despises the traditional medicine. They always demand scientific proof where traditional herbs and medication is concerned. That is really upset. One of the problems that you encounter as farmers is climate change or global warming. This is where you can research and incorporate indigenous knowledge in your way of doing things. Indigenous people have always had a relationship with the universe. Human beings are a brother and sister to the environment. They are informed by it. For example, in September, they would observe the milk lane, Silimel, and they would know that Kisilimo, it's summer, it's time hulima. So, kinako ya gore ba bakanye dipeo. So you prepare for farming, having watched the universe informing you. Elders would watch the moon to tell when there's going to be rain or not. They would also watch the moon. When the moon is tilting, they would know that there would be a disease, that some kind of disease, and they would prepare for it. Elders also used to watch the bird called Mama Silanuka. Mama Silanuka builds its nest on the tree on a riverbank. So if Mama Silanuka builds its nest on the lowest branch, then they knew that there would be drought. But if it builds its nest on the highest branch, then they knew that there will be a lot of rain. Because if it builds its nest on the lowest branch, it would do that so that it's easy for it to feed its little ones water. So water will be fetched easily. But if there's a lot of rain, the nest will be swamped by the water. The people would also watch trees in spring. When trees bloom white, most trees that bloom white, a lot of them bloom, they know that there will be drought. If trees that bloom colorful flowers bloom a lot, they know that there will be a lot of rain. Insects were also frequently used by the Botswana elders to foretell the weather. certain phenomena associated with the insects, such as the appearance of the red ants in large swarms in October and November, bees flying from the hills towards the lowlands appeared in large numbers of moist ant hills in August or September, were signs, and those signs actually said that there will be a lot of rain. And they also observed the winds also. When it goes westerly or southerly, they knew how to actually wave the wind to go wherever they want to. There was a man who was dedicated in the village to have a horn that would actually blow the wind where it's supposed to go, to draw the rain where it's supposed to come. The introduction of modern technology has undermined and neglected local or indigenous knowledge for predicting climate and weather changes. IKS has shown to be great importance in agriculture and development practices in rural communities. Therefore, indigenous knowledge translates to the thoughts and beliefs existing amongst the local people, to which value is attached and transcended along the lines of descent and being meaningful and correct to a particular locality. For instance, IKS practices include knowledge of indigenous plants, food preservation techniques, seed selection to avoid droughts, disease control in livestock, etc. IKS incorporates culture in society, specific knowledge of practices such as agriculture, traditional medicine, on the use of ethnobotanical knowledge of medicinal plant for human and animal use, and celestial knowledge, which influences human living, weather forecasting, and disaster prediction. Indigenous knowledge, therefore, was helping farmers to prepare according to the coming climate conditions. Therefore, if there was a lot of rain, they would plant sorghum and beans that needed a lot of water. If there was drought, they would plant sorghum, beans, etc. that needed less water. So food security was protected at all times. Now, this is how you, as graduates entering the farming sector, can use indigenous knowledge to mitigate climate change by interacting with the ecosystem. In conclusion, as you graduate today, final points of who we are. Thank you.
Good day, MEC, the principal, HOD, all participants and the graduates, people who made this day for us. Congratulations to all for the good work that you have done. You had shown us for education is a key to success. My task is to present the profile of MEC Sebonta Desbo Mohono. Sebonta Desbo Mohono was born on the 28th of October 1970 in Chanem village near Rustenburg. She schooled at Chanem Primary School and continued her studies at Mafenya Middle School until she completed her studies at Siabe High School in Mpumalanga Province. She obtained a diploma in education from Lihuruzi College of Education in 1993. She started teaching at Rakoko High School for a period of 10 years. She continued with her teaching career at Rauwane Sipeng in Kabani for another 5 years. In 2009, Desbo Mohono became a member of provincial legislature in the Northwest Provincial Legislature. Subsequent to that, she was appointed as a member of the Executive Council. Government. Desbo Mohono is currently the MEC for the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development in the Northwest Province. Previously, MEC Desbo Mohono was responsible for the Department of Tourism, where she had a mammoth task of establishing the said department, as previously was just a directorate in the bigger picture. But with her diligence, tenacity, and commitment, she led and developed the department very well. Her political leadership. Desbo Mohono's leadership skills have shown from her early days. This includes the time she was a teacher. The following are leadership positions she occupied. She was an SRC member of Siabe High School. In 1994 to 1998, she was chairperson of Mabiskral branch of SACTU. In 1998 to 2004, she was deputy chairperson of SACTU Bujanala region. In 2004 to 2005, she was COSATU provincial executive member. In 2004 to 2009, she was SACTU Northwest Deputy Provincial Secretary, SACTU National Negotiator, and COSATU PEC member. In 2011 to 2015, she was ANC Northwest Provincial Executive Committee member and Provincial Working Committee member. She attended Chris Hani Brigade Political School. She is ANC Women's League member. She is a member of South African Communist Party. In 2018 to date, she is a member of the Provincial Task Team and convener of Ngaka Mudiri Mulema region. Under education, Desbo Mohono continues to lead by example by prioritizing education as part of her life. Despite her active schedule, she finds time to study further. The following is her education achievements. She obtained diploma in education at Lihuritu College of Education, further diploma in education at Vista University, BEd honors in education at Tshwane University of Technology, certificate in leadership at UNISA, certificate in governance and public leadership at Wits University, postgraduate diploma in governance and public leadership at Wits University, master's degree in governance and public leadership also at Wits University. Colleagues, now I present to you MEC Desbo Mohono. Over to you, MEC. I thank you.
Acting Head of Department, School Principal, sponsors and donors, parents and guardians, all media houses present, ladies and gentlemen. I'm happy to join everyone in the first ever historic visual graduation that is happening under the hovering eye of COVID-19 pandemic. Indeed, things will never be the same again. As made mention by the President of the country, Honorable Cyril Ramaphosa, this is the new normal as herald to our people. Ours is to adapt and deliver. Ladies and gentlemen, at the dawn of this new life, our practical action must ensure that none can challenge us when we say we are a nation at work. To build a better life for us and the whole generation. Central to rapid shifting of gears is the hard reality that our country is trapped in a general and deepening political, economic, social crisis which has for many begun to turn what was an age of hope into an age of despair. Now today's graduation gives us hope and believe that our graduate will come up with answers in maintaining South African dream. Ladies and gentlemen, the year 2020 saw the college having to adapt to the pandemic. And indeed, we have punched above our weight in making sure that our children's education is not compromised. The year 2020, the college had a total of 268 registered students, including 77 final year senior students. Registered student programs include plant production, animal production, agricultural engineering, agricultural management, and computer skills. After the initial lockdown, our first year student only returned to our college on the 31st August 2020. As a college, we then decided to apply a blended approach in our modus of operandi. An outline system that the college had since 2017 was then used to full capacity, and that the college had since 2017, an online system that the college had since 2017 was then used to full capacity and learned whilst at home and in our different hostels. Students have learned while at home and in our different hostels because of the pandemic that have reached our shores. Students have been assisted with portable resources, including laptops, to make their stay and application worthwhile. As it has always been the norm of our college to produce market-related individuals, we strongly believe that this 2021 hod are a holistic one. I believe that education is more than just learning how to read and write. Education helps us grow personally, professionally, and socially. It also helps us become better versions of ourselves. Different societies and culture. More recently, during my food security program, I have realized that our people are willing to plant and keep animals, but most of them do not have or do not possess the know-how and the expertise in applying themselves. Now, I urge all our graduates to also plow back in different communities while waiting for their employment or furthering their studies. On the other hand, I am grateful from all the sponsors and donors that continue to make it possible for our learners to achieve their goals. In the spirit of Faranani, as government, we commit to work in close partnership with interested stakeholders, inspired by the call to ensure that we draw on the energy and genius of our nation to give birth to something that will surely be new, good, and beautiful. To our educated people on their beautiful day, your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the result of other people's thinking. In you we believe, in you we have invested. Your parents have devoted money and time for your better tomorrow. Now the baton is in your hands to go and make it out there. If by word and deed you take your place among the ordinary people and position yourself among a nation that is at work to build a better life for all within the caring society, then we should expect that the seed we have planted in you will further flourish and set a garland of grace while presenting each other and every one of us with crown of splendor. Thanks to your efforts, and make sure that you go out there and make us proud and take the world and make sure that what you have learned from this college is worthwhile. I thank you.
The Honorable Premier of the Northwest Province in absentia, the Member of Executive Council, MEC of the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, Honorable Desbo Muhono, the Acting Head of Department, Redi Pepenene Saraje, the Chairperson of the College Advisory Council, Mr. Johan Tutoy, our most honorable guests, our graduates, parents, college management and staff, ladies and gentlemen. It is my privilege to offer the vote of thanks on this special event on our college calendar. Our sincere expression of thanks goes to the Chair of the College Advisory Council, Mr. Johan Bidoy, for the constitution of the convocation. Let me take this opportunity to thank Sheikh Abdullah Minti for the encouraging and uplifting scripture from the Holy Quran. We would like to thank Councillor Barrey Sekhotso for the introduction of the Honorable MEC. We extend our sincere appreciation to the campus head for a positive, well-prepared and comprehensive report. Mr. Mukashani and Mr. Apani for the call of declaration and proclamation of qualification. Dr. Khoradira for the inspiring and motivating congratulatory speech to the graduates. Indeed, the future is theirs to create. Chairperson of the Council, ladies and gentlemen, such an event cannot happen overnight. Wheels started rolling weeks ago, which required planning and bird's eye for details. We have been fortunate to be supported by a team motivated and dedicated colleagues who know their jobs. Our heartfelt appreciation to Mr. Hafeji and team for organizing such a unique ceremony. We would like to finally thank the Honorable MEC Desbo Muhono for the continued and constant support to the college. As said by the Honorable MEC, indeed, things will never be the same again under the hovering eye of COVID-19. Our sincere gratitude for the inspiring and motivating graduation address on this first historic visual ceremony. I thank you, Rea Leboga, Baya Tanki.
By virtue of the powers vested in me in terms of the applicable constitute, I hereby dissolve this convocation of the Potchefstroom College of Agriculture. I thank you.